Hello and welcome back to the Canyon Home Podcast. I'm your host, Theodore Leaf, and last week's episode was so special to me. I am beyond grateful to all of you who left comments, who found me on Instagram and DM'd me, emails, all of it. I did not expect such a warm welcome back. I really feel like I'm back home. I've been on YouTube since 2007, and honestly, I've never put out a video where a little bit afterwards, I wasn't checking the views. I was checking the comments because I missed all of you so much. And that's really what I care about. I care about you. I care about the questions you have. I care about your passion. And I feel more connected to you guys than ever before. The level of comments, the details, the words you're using. I just was like, where have all of you been? And you're like, we've been here the whole time, girl. So thank you for coming back. Thank you for sharing this with your friends. Thank you for spreading the word that I'm back on YouTube, back out in the world. I really do feel like I ripped a big old Band-Aid off, and I'm energized. You guys are really juicing me up, and the comments and the feedback is really the fuel that I need to keep going, to make this what I envision in my head. And honestly, one comment really just stood out and kind of just really boiled down what the ethos of this new vision that I have is really about, and where I personally am as a homemaker and an entertaining host, meaning someone who hosts parties. I really just felt where this comment was coming from. And so I'm going to read this comment for you. This is from our darling Karmen with a K. And, I guess I'm not on Do Not Disturb. Do you guys literally, like, if you are trying to get a hold of me, like, I'm not the one. Like, just so you know, like, I always have Do Not Disturb on, but I don't know how to do that on a computer. Stop making noise. Oh, it is on Do Not Disturb. You guys, I don't know. Anyway, back to Miss Karmen. All right, this comment is from Karmen with a K. Theodore Leaf, I really resonate. I love that word, resonate. I really resonate with what you said about it being all about the feeling we have in our space or an experience. Since you're asking for questions from us, yes, I am, here is the current issue. The holidays are coming up very quickly, and I'm an overachiever who rarely manages to create my dream for a season or occasion. My disconnect with the reality of available time and energy usually results in unfinished projects, a sense of failure, and chaos rather than peace. The opposite of what I'm trying to create. My specific question would be, if you could prescribe a minimalist Thanksgiving or Christmas holiday plan, what would it be? What would you tell an overachiever who wants to keep it simple but literally doesn't know how? My imagination is always too big. Can you give me a concrete reality check on what it would be like to have myself a merry little Christmas, because the Pinterest board method is definitely not working. Are Carmen's words reverberating through anyone else's body right now? My darling, I am with you. I am with you. I'm exhausted by myself. I'm exhausted by my piles of unfinished projects and visions of sugar plum fairies dancing on my table. I get it. I absolutely get it. And I know that so many of us who are listening and watching right now are raising our hand to Karmen and saying, girl, she said that. Because it really is so true. As I was absorbing your words, one of the things that came up for me was back in the 90s, you would have probably have had a few magazines you subscribed to, and that would be it. And if you boil down the ideas that resonate for you or that you like from one of those, you might find 25 or 30 ideas in a holiday issue. You go on Pinterest, you go on Instagram, you just go on anything, and the fire hose of options just makes us like wildly crazy because the options are endless. The bar is set so high that often we are sitting in a chair in tears with our piles of unfinished things. And then we have 18 million things to cook. And at the same time, we're supposed to look good, take pictures, and be relaxed, and be calm, and be centered and present. Well, I don't know about you, but it's not possible. It's just not possible for me in my experience. Karmen, I have hosted that holiday that you described with the unfinished projects and just the overwhelm being so serious because we like what we like. I really love a stunning table. I love to cook, and I could cook all of those 12 dishes for that Thanksgiving holiday. And do the flowers for the guest room and do this and host the overnight guests and do all of that. Just because we can doesn't mean we should, and it doesn't mean that we have to. So I have a vision for you. I really, really understand where you're coming from. And I think that this is really an invitation for all of us to just take a deep breath and really call in some honesty and call in some clarity so that we can really figure out what is important. And instead of what do we want to do, ask ourselves the question, what do we want to feel? And when you look at a holiday through that lens, you're going to have very different answers to your questions. You're going to have a very different to-do list. It will be shorter. And I'm here to help you through the practicality of that. Because if you're listening to this podcast or you're watching this video, you're my people. We are the entertainers, or we want to be. We are either starting out or we've been doing this. This is not our first rodeo. So generally we're hosting or we're a big part of hosting somewhere else. And that is a huge task, and it's something that we love. We love it. We have all those pictures saved on our phone. Our Pinterest boards are busting. We have more hot glue than you can shake a stick at. We have 18 different recipes for Brussels sprouts. What do you know? What do you want? Bring them at me. However, what we don't have is this unlimited bandwidth, this unlimited time. We work, we have kids, we have dogs, we have husbands, we have friends, we have things to do. We can't do it all. And that is something that 5 years ago, I did not want to hear. Yes, I can do it all. Let me show you. And I would do it. And I'd be exhausted. And if you asked me what that holiday was later, it was a blur. I don't know. Let's look up some photos. I don't remember what I made. I don't remember who was there because I was completely in the weeds. Because guess what? I don't have staff. There's no staff here. There's me. And so when you're hosting these events, these Christmases, these Thanksgivings, if you're in my shoes, I know what that feels like. However, because I've done this on a large scale, I know some ways that we can actually sort of have our cake on the right cake stand and eat it too. And the name of the game with that is delegation. Yes, we are going to have to delegate. Now, delegate does not mean that you release all control of your event, okay? Because there's no world where I would have been able to host large scale events without a team of people. And that team of people had to execute a singular vision. And the key with that is really communication. And so if you don't have staff, what do you have? You have friends and family, and they're all coming. And if you're the home that usually hosts, trust me, those friends and family, they want in. They want in on the fun. They want to be a part of it in the way that they can. And the opportunity for you is to let them and show them. I did this actually last year because it was our first year in this house. By the way, I didn't tell you guys that we moved to Palm Springs, but we moved to Palm Springs. And we've been renovating and enjoying this home. We still have Gingham Cottage, by the way. It's rented and it's a dream. It's just really fantastic. But anyway, this was the first time that we were in a home that we owned that had a table for 8 inside. And I knew you could expand it. We actually are sitting, you're watching this video in our dining room. The dining room is sort of the cookbook library, etc. And Matt and I were talking about it, and you could not tell me no when I wanted to host, I don't remember how many people, it was 12 or 14 in this house. And Matt was like, there's not going to be anywhere for people to sit and this and that. And he was right. I think he's on the other side of this wall giggling. But anyway, he was right. It just was not going to happen. And I realized that we were going to have to kind of make it work with the house that the family was renting and all of that. And when people are traveling, they still want to be a part of the fun. So even though I wasn't hosting, I took the sort of helm of the ship and decided to get everybody organized so that we could have a successful Thanksgiving. So this is what I recommend that you do. Or this is a version of what you could do. I got all the people who wanted to cook and be a part of it on a Zoom call. Set up a Zoom. We had little coffee, little tea. By the way, I need a little bit of calming tea right now. Anyway, we had our little tea. It was probably on a Sunday. And I said, all right, everyone, here's the deal. I am going to make the turkey. I'm going to make the gravy. And I'd really like to make the stuffing. Of our group, who has a specific dish that they really just love, that it's just not that holiday if they don't have that dish? And the hands started to raise. Oh, I want to make a mac and cheese. Oh, I've got to make this Brussels sprout recipe. Oh, the green bean casserole is the one thing that I just love. And we started ticking off all of the boxes of the menu. What was so fantastic about this is as that was happening, I was creating a chart. So Theodore's doing this, Aaron's doing this, Karen's doing this, Sharon's doing this, Abby's doing this. And what was great is everyone got to be a part of that plan. I wasn't working in a silo in a vacuum and sort of dictating this is how this is going to go. We were all in on it. I took the document, I emailed it to everyone, and then when everyone arrived at the rental house, I had it printed out on the refrigerator. Let me tell you, this was so effective because nobody asked me a bunch of questions. Everyone knew what was expected of them. Everyone knew what we were eating. Everyone knew what time we were eating. And everyone could figure out how to make their dish happen. It all came together, and I actually had time to relax. I actually got to play with my puppy. I actually got to enjoy conversations with people that I hadn't seen in a long time. It was such a refreshing experience. Did I get to set my dream table? No, not that year. Did I get to do other things? Yes, I did. So delegation is really sort of the cornerstone of my advice on how to really be able to accomplish what you want to accomplish and not have to do it all yourself. And I think more importantly than anything, the feeling of being included is the key here, because two things happen. You get more white space in your day. What does that mean? What is white space? White space is, oh yeah, I can actually join you on that walk with the dogs because I'm not cooking 17 things. Or, oh, I'm going to really engage with that conversation with my grandfather or my grandmother by the fire because I'm not cooking 17 things. And that white space is essential if your goal is to really enjoy yourself during the holidays. And also, if you're like us, our community, our group, you want things a certain way. So if there's someone that you know doesn't necessarily have a bunch of white platters, or things to do, offer it up. Hey, or they're like, I'm happy to cook. I just don't have a recipe. Oh, really? I have this recipe. It's on page 72 of this book. Here's the book. Here's the platter. Have fun. I'll see you on Thursday. People love to be tucked in. They love it. They're like, oh my gosh, I don't have to look up a recipe. I don't have to find platter. Theodore did that for me. I'm going to go. I'm going to cut my little Brussels sprouts. I'm going to make my thing. I'm going to have my garnish in a little jar. I show up. Good to go. It's a dream. And it works. It totally works. And then you, as the host or hostess, you get to do the things you love. Your house is still going to smell gorgeous because you've got the turkey in the oven. You can set your table the night before. You can do your flowers. You can do the things that you absolutely love. Because for me, I love cooking, but do I love cooking like 12 things in a day? No, I'm not that person. No, thank you. There are plenty of chefs that would just love to do that. I'm not that person. I want to take a shower. I want to put on a little bronzer or something. I want to look into my dog's eyes and give them a cuddle. That's how I want to spend my holidays. And you can actually do that if you plan ahead and be that person that's at the helm of the ship. You can still run the show and make it yours, but you can also bring everybody else in and not make yourself exhausted in the process. Karmen, this comment it just went into my bones. Obviously, you can tell I'm like jumping out of my seat, excited to share this because it's really the truth. And I think it's really sort of the completion of the circle because we've been on this road of just nonstop expectation, overwhelm of just inspiration and things. And it's like, I know so many of us are just like, can we just slow it down? I wear a hat around town that says peace and quiet. I'm just like, that's just where so many of us are at right now. And I really do feel like if you give this a try, this can really click for you. And this can be something that you can make a part of your repertoire of how you do things. And I know that you guys also have other fantastic ideas from your experience, from entertaining for years and years and years and years. I would love to see what you think about this in the comments. Give us a high five, a yes ma'am, or something else that we're not thinking of. I always say it's like bring a little light to the shadow. Show me how we can soften the edges here, because that's really my goal. And something like offering someone a platter and that page 72 recipe, that softens the edges of their day. And trust me, it absolutely softens the edges of your day. So seriously, Karmen, an entire episode devoted to your comment. So if you are new to the podcast, you can also check us out on YouTube. I have the YouTube videos out. I'm working on some vision where I would like to create a supported community. I want to work for you guys full time, literally. Be my client. I'm not sure how that's all going to work out, but it's something that's in my vision. All of your comments, all of your feedback have really fueled this fire. Thank you so much for helping me pull the Band-Aid off, make the first video I've made in 4 years, do the first episode of the Canyon Home podcast I've done in 4 years. I wouldn't do this without you. I'm not doing this for just endless attention. I'm doing this because I love it. Oops, there goes my music. This is what happens when you are your own producer. All right, sorry, the music started when it wasn't supposed to. I'm a one-man band here. Oh, and the light shifted. I was so focused on you guys. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. If this story, if this tip is helpful, this conversation is helpful, please share it with someone else. I really, really would appreciate it because we're just kind of getting the engine restarted over here. And I want to share this with the right people. And I know you know them. And I really am so grateful for you sharing that. So thank you so much. And I will see you all again very soon. I really appreciate your